This video is for integrated 2. This is on factoring. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be factoring quadratics of the form x squared plus bx plus c. So when you were in integrated 1, we learned how to multiply out binomials. For example, we learned how to multiply something like x plus 2 times x minus 3 by doing a box. And putting the x plus 2 here and the x minus 3 here. And we multiply and we got x squared, 2x, negative 3x, and a negative 6. And our answer was x squared minus x minus 6. What we're going to do now is we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start with the x squared minus x minus 6 and try to get the factors, the x plus 2 and x minus 3. Now, instead of using the box, we can also use a diamond for these particular problems. So if I was to multiply out x plus 2 times x minus 3, what I'm going to do is I could have had the 2 here and a negative 3 here, and I think of it as a diamond. Now, remember, for the diamonds, you're multiplying to get the top, and we're adding to get the bottom. So when I multiply 2 times negative 3, I get a negative 6. And when I add 2 and a negative 3, I get a negative 1. And that is x squared minus x, that's what your add is, minus 6. Now, I only do this when I have a situation like this. Okay, so if I have, for example, an x plus, I'm just going to say a, and an x plus b, instead of doing the box, what I can do to multiply this out is I'm going to put my a here and my b here. And I'm going to work it out that way. So let's say that I was going to do the following example. Let's say we are going to take x plus 5 and x plus 2 and multiply that out. So I could do a box, but I could put the 5 and the 2 on the side, and those multiply to a 10 and add to a 7. And my answer is going to be x squared, because an x times x is going to be x squared. And then my sum here is going to be my x, and the 10 here is going to be my constant. Let me just kind of color code those. So my 7 goes with the x, and the 10 is your constant. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something called factoring, and we're going to go the other direction. So what we're going to be doing is, if we are going to be factoring something like this, so this, they ask us to factor x squared plus 4x plus 3. What we're going to do in this case is, I don't know the sides, I know the top and the bottom. So this 3 is going to go here, and this 4, positive 4, is going to go here. So I am going to have the 3 here and the 4 here, and I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to 3 and adds to 4. And that is going to be a 3 and a 1. So my factors are going to be x plus 3, x plus 1. So let me do another example. Let's say I have x squared minus 3x minus 18. And I'm trying to figure out the factors, okay, that give me this. So again, I'm going to do a diamond. This negative 18, sorry, I didn't mean to scribble. Let me get the highlighter. This negative 18 is going to go here. And this negative 3 in front of the x is going to go here. And so I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to a negative 18 and adds to a negative 3. And that's going to be a negative 6 and a positive 3. Multiplies to a negative 18 and adds to a negative 3. And so my factors, okay, let me just kind of color code this again. So that was a negative 6 and a positive 3. My factors are going to be an x minus 6 and an x plus 3. So we are trying to factor. Okay, so we're going opposite from multiplying them out. Now, we only do this when we have a situation where we use diamonds to factor. It's a method, okay? So we don't leave our answer in the diamond. We only use the diamonds to factor something of the form x squared plus bx plus c, where you have no number in front of your x squared. That is when you're going to use your diamonds. And so when you're trying to figure out what you're factoring, you're going to put the c, whatever this constant is here, and this b is going to go here. So we would put the c here and the b here. We're trying to figure out what would multiply to this and add to this. That's how we're going to factor them. So let me give us a couple more examples. So let's say we have as an example x squared minus 121. Let's say we have something like this. So if we have something like this, which still has an x squared, okay, but it does not have an x. So my constant is the number that doesn't have an x, which is going to be my negative 121. Now, you can really think of this as x squared plus 0x minus 121. So this is really a 0, okay? Really, it would be a 0. So we're trying to figure out what multiplies to a negative 121 and adds to 0. So that's going to be an 11 and a negative 11. So our factors are going to be x plus 11 and x minus 11. These ones down the road, in this situation where you get the same thing, but one's a plus and one's a minus, eventually this is going to be called a difference of two squares. And we're going to learn a formula for this. But right now, if you saw a problem like this, where you had an x squared and a constant with a minus, your x would really be a 0. And let me give us one other one. Let's say, for example, we had x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now, in this case, my positive 16 is going to go here. My positive 8 is going to go here. And actually, I'm going to make this a negative 8. Let me make this a negative 8. Make it a little more interesting. Okay, so that negative 8 is going to go here. And my 16 is going to go here. So I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to a positive 16 and adds to a negative 8. Now, what multiplies to a positive and adds to a negative is going to be two negatives, okay? I have to have two negatives. And this is going to be a negative 4 and a negative 4. And we can write this answer as x minus 4 times x minus 4, or we can write this as x minus 4 squared. And this down the road is going to be called a perfect square trinomial. And we're going to learn how to do these without doing these diamonds down the road. But for right now, we're going to use this method. So for your classwork, you're going to have a worksheet that beginning problems are just practicing doing the diamonds. And when we do the diamonds, remember that we add to get the top. And we multiply to get the top, multiply to get the top, and we add to get the bottom. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. Then the second part of that worksheet is you guys are going to be factoring doing diamonds, just like I did right here. So add this into your composition book, and good luck on the classwork.